Hey, Hope. How are you? I'm still wondering why the chat section is being translated to Spanish. I don't know. Maybe yes, because I'm from Latam. I'm from Latin America. But why? I didn't ask YouTube to translate it for me. I didn't set anything up. So I guess they just take the liberty of being like, oh, you person from Latin America, you're receiving messages in English. Do you want us to translate it? It's not even like if I want them to translate it for me. It's like we are going to translate it for you because you don't know. You don't know English. Yes, the chat is also translated. Yes, like from my phone, the one that I'm recording with, I can see it in Spanish. It's not well translated. It's too literal. But in the one that I have over here, I can see it in English. So I know that you guys see it in English too. Thank God, because I was like, I swear, Hope, I don't know why. I will have to, get more into the setup, into the settings to see if maybe I press something. I don't think so because this didn't happen like last week. Is or maybe like 2 weeks ago. I started seeing this like last Sunday. So I don't know. This app does things that is like, why do you want to fix something that is not broken? Like, I didn't ask you. I don't know. And also I think that could it be that also with the AI and everything, could it be that there's this, I don't know why I feel it like this. I feel like somehow the apps or the everything related to social media is somehow making people like more lazy. Like they think that, oh, let me do this for you. Let me, I'm going to do this for you. And it seems like an act of service. It seems like they are providing help, but it's not. It's actually very condescending because it's not like I'm looking for a translation. I'm not telling you like I need you guys to translate it because I cannot read. I don't know. I just find it so like overbearing. Like, why are you doing this? No one asked you. I didn't ask you. Like, why are you doing this? But I feel like, I got this. And I'm not still, yet. I'm not that dumb yet. I think that I can still, I can still understand. My mind so far is functioning. But it's like doing those things that, or maybe changing these setups that no one asks you. Like, why? Hey, Fluffy. Interesting. Many people seem to be doing too much. It feels like this. Like, you're doing a lot. Like, just, let me be. If I need help, I'm going to ask you for help. But if I don't, just don't change things. Like, don't don't touch anything. Don't like, don't touch my things. Don't touch my platform. This is not my platform. It's everyone's platform. YouTube is for everyone. But I'm saying, like, don't touch my channel. If I don't change something, don't do it. Yeah, it is. It is auto sub. Yes, but I never seen it on the chat. I never seen it on the chat. So I will have to go very deep into the settings to see, what is generating this, because I didn't ask for this. So how are you guys? How is the weather over there? I have seen in the news that it's really cold. It's really cold over there. Like, how are you holding on? I wish I was there. Actually, I'm someone that suffers cold. I actually get very cold right away. Um, but I love it. I love winter more than, this very annoying heat, these very hot days that we have here. Um, I don't like it. It makes me feel sick. But if I was near a beach, or if I was more like on a tropical kind of side, I would be happy. I would be happy to be in summer. But right now, it's not pleasant to be in the city with all these, high temperatures. It's not fun. It's raining here in France, and it's very cold, but not to the point it's snowing. Oh. Has anyone watched the last comeback of? Is it a comeback? Is it like the last release of 80s? I watched At first, I watched them do all these challenges with other people, because I do have them on TikTok you know um, and I did see that they started to upload the challenges with a lot of people, and then I was like, oh, this is a new song. So I went and looked for the MV, and I believe it's called Adrenaline. It sounds nice. It's very them, their energy very high, very. I like it. But why do I feel like I'm a bit like, is it me, or there's something about these comebacks releases that everything happens very fast, or am I the one that catches things at the last minute, and that's why I don't find out? I think that there's certain comebacks that are very rushed, like, or maybe I'm not following certain content, so I don't know what is to come, but probably the fans do know it. But I don't know. I think that in other years it felt like the promotions were longer, or no, I feel like it comes and it goes like very fast. Mm, mm, mm-hmm. It's pretty warm during the days here. Some are expecting snow. Adrenaline, I saw stage. I think. Yeah, you're not a fan of 80s much. I feel like 80s and Stray Kids have come back every couple of months, but I don't follow them. Maybe it only feels that way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling lost. You know when you feel lost, when you're like, I think that I'm missing something, and I don't know. I also need and I don't have time to catch up with all the. This is my last. February is my last. 3 months. Then I'm going to go back to work. So yeah, it's going to be busy. And next Wednesday, I have my dad is going to get his surgery in the eyes for how is it called? How do you guys call it in English? Is it cataracts in the eyes? Yeah, same. Yeah, yes. Yeah, cataract, yes. He's going to have the procedure done next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, I'm going to be, taking care of him because I do have to apply the drops, for his eye every 15 minutes for 2 hours. Then he has to get the surgery. Then, have to get him home. I have to be very pendant on him because he's not supposed to, be lifting weight nor moving around. But you know how he is. So I'm going to have to be very pendant on him. And then on the next Thursday, I have to take him for a checkup in another place. So it's going to be very busy 2 days. My meeting is late and it's starting, so I'm waiting. I need help. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I think that it's a very short procedure, right? I don't think that it lasts a lot of hours, because how is it done? Is it with a laser? I have no idea. I'm learning about these things because I have my dad that is an elderly person, but also I have my experiences in the hospital or about complex, having complex procedures because because of me. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that have changed or things that are very modern that yeah. Yeah, and he has cataracts on both eyes because he does have blue eyes. So I think that in his family, everyone had it. His sisters, like his mom, I remember his mom used to have it because all of them have this very, bright blue aquamarine kind of, color of eyes. So I don't know if that makes them more susceptible to getting it. Like, I know there's other. I don't think that it depends on the color of the eye, but I think that when you have blue eyes, it's like you're more sensitive. So he has in both eyes, but I think that they are focusing more on the eye that it's more affected, and it's the one on the right. LASIK. Okay, LASIK. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also the preparation and the aftercare it's not that complex. It's just that I have to be very dependent on him. Um, and I have to be with him. So far, when it comes to him going to get his eyes checked, and until, because we have been dealing with this for like almost like a year. um and he was supposed to get like glasses. He was going for this, but then once we finally got um the possibility to see the doctor like did all the checkups, and he came to the realization that, yeah, my dad doesn't need glasses, he needs to get an operation. But I didn't know he had cataracts, like, honestly, like he never told me, neither like I don't see well or anything. So yes, you go, Hope, thank you for being here. Thank you. So yeah, it's a whole new experience. But yeah, for me, what I need to be more careful about, it's about him not be moving around and just doing things that in his state he cannot do. So I hope I will be in those days. I will be very like hyper vigilant over him, because I know how he is. I leave him a couple of minutes, without supervision, and he's already doing something. Talking about Hope mentioned something about headphones, and I need to get mine, the wireless ones, because I had ones, the usual. I bought ones with cable on them, to plug them in the phone, and I accidentally stepped on them, and now they don't work. So I have to get the wireless ones, the ones that go inside the ear. It's just that it falls off my ear, because I cannot, I don't like also to have something inside my ear. It makes me very sensitive. But I do have the headset, but is sometimes my ears get a bit red, especially if I'm doing Zoom meetings, or if I'm studying. There comes a point where my ear lobes and everything gets very sensitive for the pressure. Um, so yeah, I should install a camera. Yes, we don't have cameras here, but I should do it. It's just that the thing, and this is something that my therapist told me about my dad, because I'm very like I'm a very authoritarian when it comes to my dad. I'm like, ever since my mom is gone, I've always been like, okay, dad, you have to take care of this, you have to do this, always making sure that he's not, that he's doing things correctly, or always checking on him if he understood things right and everything. But I remember I had a conversation talking about this, how I was annoyed that, that he doesn't understand certain things, that he always wants to do what he wants to do. And my therapist, she basically it's not that she called me out, but she was like, you have to trust him. You have to trust your dad. Like you have to trust that he's going to do, at the best of his ability, that he's going to do what is best. You have to trust him. This is why when it comes to cameras and everything, I'm like, I don't want to get to the point of, having a lot of information, or having a lot of a bit of control, because, I don't want to invade his autonomy. because he also gets annoyed when I call him, when I tell him that you shouldn't do that. Like, he also gets angry. So that's why I think that I need to be flexible. But yeah, when it comes to security, definitely I do need it. And also, it's not just about him, it's also for the cats, because the cats also, the cats are also very mischievous during the night. They mostly sleep at his house because his house is bigger than mine. And in here, sometimes Kali sleeps with me, but then she gets annoyed in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., that she starts meowing like crazy, that she wants to go out, or she wants to go to my dad's house at 3 a.m. So that's why I decided, okay, I will leave her with that. She sleeps with Nevita and she sleeps with my dad. The three of them sleep together in the bed. But every once in a while she wants to sleep with me. It's just that she has this weird schedule, this weird no, thank you. Thank you, Fluffy. Yeah, I was kidding about setting up a camera, but I understand how trust is difficult when you get worried, especially what about you. Yes. Remember when he fell? That's how everything originated. Because after I took him to another physician, to see how he's doing, to check on him, I was telling this doctor, I was like, I think that he, of course that all of them, even to me, it can happen that I trip on a sidewalk. It was a sidewalk that it was near the bus stop, and it was a different level. So he missed a step. That's why he fell. But at the same time, I was telling the doctor, I think that he cannot see right. He cannot see. There's something. I believe that there's something about his eyes. So I think that he needs glasses. And this is how this doctor was very kind, and he was like, oh, I know of this center that is about eyes, and it's about with my dad, that insurance. He was like, they will give him, if he needs glasses, they will give him for free because of his insurance that he has. And I was like, oh, cool. And that's how we initiated this whole process of getting his a pair of glasses for him, or whatever he needed. And that's how we found out that he actually has cataracts. But yeah, it's eventually I will have to do it. Yes, eventually I will have to pull the camera, because he's getting older. He forgets a lot of things. Even in me, sometimes we talk about old people, but I think that, I don't know what is it. I was talking about this with my friends, and also with my cousin the other day, that I don't know if it's because of social media, because of the phone, that we are becoming more forgetful. There's something about us just not being fully present when we do things. So we have these sort of very odd moments where you're like, I'm supposed to be checking on this, but I forgot, and then this happened. So I think that the lack of how we are so immersed with the phone, and that we need to get answer emails, or we are pendant, or a certain message has to arrive, or a confirmation has to arrive. I think that we are so like looking at this at the devices, that we are not looking around us, and that that's why I'm like, for an elderly person, you can excuse them and be like, well, maybe they forget, they have they lose the memory a bit, or they get confused. But when it comes to us, that we are not yet that old, I think that our brain is getting like slower, or I don't know, like I mentioned at the beginning, a bit more lazier. Yeah, his house is like in front of mine. It's like a few fields away, but it's like the first house, and then my house is the one in the back. But I can go there and walk. My grandma, who is on a wheelchair, has a device she wears around her neck with a button she presses. Ah, when she phones, she's condition. Yes, it's just that all those things I have to take into consideration because, the thing about my dad is that, he is very, there's something about him, having a lot of energy, and he wants to do things like he always does them. It's like he is used to being this person that is always in a rush, or he's always moving, or he's always lifting things that are very heavy. So he is like in his mind he still can do all those things. So this is why I also have to start like helping him to understand that he has to slow down, that he is not 40 years old or 30 years old anymore. That also 80 is not like a small number. 80 it's like advanced age. And that it's okay to slow down. Like I always tell him, it's not about him just not doing anything. It's about him being more like mindful. Okay, like I shouldn't be doing these things, or I shouldn't be like going out, and there's something about him being accelerated. This I did notice, that every time we go for a walk, or every time we have to cross the streets, he always is like he wants to go first. And it seems like he doesn't have the ability to look at the size. Even it's like he's like, I will go first. He just crosses the street like this, and I worry. I panic. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, that there's cars coming. He's like a very nervous person. He cannot wait. Yes. It's just that things are very complex here, in at least at the moment in my country, when it comes to health care insurance, and what it covers and what it doesn't cover. And when they give you the appointment, it's taking forever for you to get to see a specialist. And sometimes you have to pay extra, because if you wait for your insurance to give you what they need to be providing, you will never get an answer. So this is why I always talk to my dad, and I'm like, we have to be grateful that you are okay, that you don't need to take many medications like some people do. Because if you had to go to the pharmacy every 20 days to buy the pills, and then there's someone from the government that is like, I will not approve of this that you need because we are not sure, so let us, you will have to wait and come back tomorrow, and then the day after this, there's a lot of like disorganization. There's a lot of like just there's something about the healthcare that is not looking good. So I think that the best thing that you can do for yourself is trying to, not be dependent on them, because if you do, okay, yeah, enough talk about the healthcare system, because I'm sure that in other parts of the world it's the same. It's not new. It's not new. Yes. Yeah. But he gets upset and he doesn't listen. but yeah, I'm trying to take care of him, because I don't know, I feel responsible, I want him to be okay, because um I don't know why people there's something about at least here there's certain people like that, especially doctors, that when something happens to when you have an elderly parent, if something happens to them, they look at you funny. Like they look at you, like it's not like they point a finger at you, but it's like, what was he doing and where were you? And it's like, but I was working, like, like there's certain things that I cannot, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that went through this, we have our lives, thank God I'm more available than other um, daughters or sons, because I have more flexibility in my schedule. If I had a full family somewhere, or if I was, had children of my own, and I had a husband, and having to take care of different things, I don't know if I would be able to show up and be like, hello, here I am, call me at any hour and I will show up. So sometimes I think that there's something about certain doctors that they, every time something happens to them, they look at you funny, like, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm also stressing out. I'm also like, what happened? But yeah, they want to make you feel guilty. I don't know. It's a very odd interaction. It's a very odd, like, it's something that they don't say, but it's a certain way of looking at you, like, like, where were you? But I cannot be following my dad around like 24/7, like he yes, I'm an only child, yeah, I'm the only one, yes. Yeah, his brothers or sisters, they do have like more children, and they do have even like grandchildren, that some of them, because they're very young or they're teenagers, they would, they would uh, go with them to the doctor's appointment or something like that, or they would go to get them things, but since it's only me, like, I have to do everything myself, and I also have to check, because sometimes he would go and get it himself, because he's a very self-sufficient person, my dad. It's not that he's waiting for me to get things for him, but sometimes he just doesn't understand, or he doesn't know how to communicate properly what he needs, so the other person doesn't understand, and you know so I have to also check everything. Okay, for today's reading, I have this series that is called Before Love Arrives. Since we are very close to Valentine's Day, I believe Saturday is Valentine's Day, so I will see if on Saturday I can connect and do the readings for, I believe it's the intimate fantasies readings. So yeah, I will see if I can make it on Saturday. And yeah, before that I was thinking, okay, what other series can I provide, to that is sort of familiar with this subject. And I came up with this, that is, a message for them, before that love or that relationship arrives, what do they need to know? So yeah, I have a few people. I have Stray Kids Bangchan. I have the actor Sota Fukushi. I have the actor Chang Wook, Super Junior Donghae, Jung Somin, Ahof JL, and Riize Sungchan. I think that I will be at like around the same time that I do Sundays, like 9 a.m. my time. 9 a.m. I'm already like, there's something about my tongue being stuck. 9 a.m. Oh, okay. I'm going to start. Okay, I'm going to start with Stray Kids Bangchan. Before love arrives, what does he need to know? Or maybe love is already, I'm not claiming that love has to arrive. Maybe some of them already have it, but this is a message about this. What do they need to know? Bangchan. Okay. Okay, for Bangchan, we start with the 10 of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Pentacles. And we have the Emperor. And then from the Oracle, I believe that this Oracle is called the self-care, or no, not self-care, self-love, or something like this. I don't remember now. In here, he got the keyword of mirror, and the phrase that it has is, it says, treat your body like the palace it is. Treat your body like the palace it is. Mirror. So very nice. Very nice. It's about acceptance. Acceptance. Is he taking care of his body? Like, is he be kind to his body? Or is there something? Is he on a diet or something like this? Something that feels very limited? But yeah, I think that honestly, what I can see here is that there's a lot of pressure on Bangchan. I think that maybe his everyday life or what he has to do, there's a lot of things that he is responsible for. And I think that when it comes to relationships, he also feels like, oh, you know, I have to be there and I have to play my role. Like, and also it's very interesting because he has, you know, this Queen of Pentacles, then we have the 6 of Pentacles, we have the Emperor. So everything feels very like official. It feels like it's like another job for him, or another role that he has to play to perfection, you know, that he has to master somehow. He's like, you know, no, let me do this. Like, I'm the gentleman, or I am the man in the relationship, and I have to take care of this. And the Ten of Wands definitely shows how, he's really a very stubborn person, in the sense that he doesn't admit, or he doesn't allow the other part to be like, I can do my part, I can help you, I can assist you. You don't have to do everything yourself. A relationship, it's about balance. It's about, like I always tell you guys, it's about 50-50. It's not like one part doing more than the other. But I think that he does it automatically, because I believe that this is maybe his love language, or this is how he was raised. So there's something about him there's something just very strong that it feels about duty. Like, okay, relationships also are like a duty for me. They feel very serious. They feel very like, no, this has to be like this. Like, if I put all my strengths on achieving certain things, or when it comes to professions, in relationships, I should be able to do the same. I should be able to put up, with the strengths, with the stress. There's something about stressing a lot. Like, oh my God, this is difficult. I don't think that I'm going to make it, but I'm going to make it because I promise you that I'm going to make it. It feels like, okay, no, I have to make it. And it also feels very forced, like he, when we think about the Ten of Wands, literally you have to look at the posture of this person, someone that is carrying with so much weight. They cannot even look at you in the eye. They cannot even look at the person that they have beside them. Because definitely here there's someone, like I said, there's someone, or there's like an archetype of the ideal person for him. And probably the ideal person for him, or the person that eventually will come into his life or will be part of his life, is someone that is like someone that got this, someone that probably is also going to teach him to slow down. I'm not, a damsel in distress. I can take care of myself. You don't need to rescue me. I have everything that I need and more. So you don't have to do all this. It's like, oh, it's impressive how much you can endure. It's impressive how much you have overcome. Like, no one is taking that away from you. But I think that when it comes to relationships, this kind of woman, she needs to be valued. She needs to be appreciated. And when you are in this sort of position of like, oh, I don't have time. I barely have time, but I think that I will make it. And I will go and see you, but I don't know how I'm going to do this because I have been very busy, but I'm going to make it. It feels like you are like pushing it. You are like pushing it, like, and it shouldn't be like this, like I said, it doesn't feel like, I think that there's something about, like, if a relationship feels like this for him, if it feels this heavy, he eventually could potentially, resent the person that he has by his side, because that person feels like another responsibility, another thing that I have to take care of, that I have to be responsible of. So there's something just very exhausting and not pleasant at all, not pleasant at all. It doesn't matter how many times you are like, oh, thank you for what you've done, but you could have let me. I could have done my part also. The Queen of Pentacles is someone that is like, I got this. I'm independent myself, so, you don't need to do all of this. I appreciate it, but I can also help. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So see, it's about like give and receive. It's like, okay, one day that you cannot make it, or one day that you cannot do this for me, I will not get offended. Someone that also feels very grounded, very realistic, I would say, someone very mature, that is like, okay, if you cannot make it, I will not get in my feelings. Like, I understand you are working, or this is important for you. So I understand. So chill, relax, focus on you, focus on what you have to do. And don't stress about me or about the relationship. Stress about other things if you want, but not about us. Like I think that this person is also like, you yourself are putting yourself in this position. Like there's something about him doing this, but also there's a lot of pride. With the emperor, is like, I got this, I can do this because I'm the man in the relationship, and a lot of men do this and more. But you don't have to be the emperor in a relationship. You can be just a simple person, with flaws, with days that you're like, oh, today I don't want to do anything. Like, can we just be lazy? You don't have to be the savior all the time, the ruler all the time, the leader all the time. You can't just relax, because it's a very even association. It's a relationship. So he has to learn to drop the bride, the preconceptions of what it feels like to be a man in a relationship, especially, because this is a very, the Queen of Pentacles is a very self-sufficient, and it's also a very mature person, probably older than him or more experienced than him. So she's not impressed by all these movements that he does. She's like, why are you doing all this? Like, I didn't ask you to do any of these things. I like you for what you are or how you make me feel, but not, with all this, like, oh, because I'm the man in the relationship. But yeah, when it says mirror, treat your body like the palace it is. At the same time, I think that there's something with the Pentacles and the Ten of Wands, like I mentioned at the beginning, he should be more careful, he should, treat his body with care. Probably he's doing a lot, or he's exercising a lot, or maybe he's going for a diet, or like, treat your body like the palace it is, treat your body like the temple it is, take care of yourself. Don't overdo it. From what I understand, he had breathing issues for years and postponed the surgery until it was unavoidable, and he had it recently. Didn't know that. He has Mars conjunct Pluto in Sag. He probably is the type to push himself and his body to the... Wow! I didn't know that. Thank you, Fluffy. It feels like my dad, who is Libra, Sun, Gemini, rising like Bangchan. Why are you moving around so much? It doesn't make things more efficient. Wow, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to continue with this actor that I believe is the first time I'm reading for him, Sota Fukushi. Sota. Let's see for him. I don't know him, but yeah, let's see. Before love arrives, what he needs to do. Okay, for this actor, for Sota Fukushi, we have the Judgment, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Hermit, and we have the Chariot. That are major arcanas. And then we have, it says, Nostalgia. Focus on the here and now. Nostalgia. Focus on the here and now. see how this person, there's this cloud, coming out of her, that she's sort of, fantasizing about other things while she is, spending time with someone. She's sort of like zooming out. Yeah, it feels very nostalgic. It feels like a whole internal process of maybe someone that have been alone for a while. So it feels like he maybe is awkward socially. It's a lot of loneliness, or because with the judgment, the two of swords, it feels like he goes through moments where he feels like, probably relationships are a whole, is tough. He feels judged in relationships, or probably, he feels under attack. There's something that maybe from the other part is being asked, and he's like, no, I cannot do that. And because I cannot do that, I feel like you're judging me. I know I cannot do this because, first of all, I think that he's very indecisive. Definitely with the two of swords, it's like him not being ready to make a decision. So probably, he has been called out for this, or maybe, a potential partner of his or someone that wanted to be with him. At some point, they were like, you have to make up your mind at some point. Like, what is it that you want in a relationship? What is it? Also, he probably he judges himself a lot, or maybe he has like high standards for himself. So there's something just very like just not, also very unconventional. I think that he doesn't express himself very well neither. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of confusion. And he probably has been told to his face at some point, like, I don't get you. I don't understand you. I don't know you. I don't know why you do the way you do, why you do the things that you do. It feels like, I don't know about his personality, but he tends to confuse people. And he probably, there's something just a bit passive about relationships. Maybe he waits for the other person to leave him or to get out of his life. There's something about him waiting, someone will like this and be like, okay, whatever you say, and just not confronting the other part. But I feel like he has it tough when it comes to relationships. And then he regrets, what happened or what didn't happen, with the hermit and the chariot. There's something about him, just maybe he has like a dialogue with himself. He's like, oh, I should have done this, or I should work on myself. There's a lot of inner work that he has to do. I think that he will be able to advance at some point. He's not going to stay in this loop forever. With the chariot, there's something that he needs to keep advancing when it comes to, this process. This is why I wonder if something happened in his love life, or if he had like a love story with someone, or if he had something with someone that it marked the way he relates to others, or this was more, maybe was traumatic, and he was like, I don't want to go through this again. So this is why I am stuck in the middle. I don't make up my mind. I don't choose people. I let people just, go away if they want to go away. I will not compromise. I will not sacrifice. I will not make up my mind because I'm not sure. A very complex individual, very complex, very lonely also. Just not communicating. But the good thing is that he has the chariot, so there's going to be like, he's going to unblock his potential at some point. He's going to, get out of this, get out of this. This is why he has the card of nostalgia, that the card is like focus on the here and now. So it's about him learning to be present. He has some learning to do about, the way he relates or communicates with others. He has to learn to be present. Maybe he evades very fast, or in his mind, he tends to fantasize or just zoom out and just go away in his perception. So even when he meets people, he's not engaging. He's like thinking about something else. So this is why it feels like his energy, it feels very elusive, very confusing. So yeah. I think that he's, it could be that he's slowly realizing that he's the problem, or that he has a certain mechanism, that is not, it's complex, and it can create a bit of chaos for the other part. The other part doesn't understand, like, why, what do you want? Why are we dancing like this? If you don't do anything, why are we being like this? Also, it could be risky to be in a relationship with someone like this, because it's like he's very passive. He's very much in here, up here. So you don't know, like, okay, what is it? Oh, he's a Gemini. A lot of confusion. Okay. I'm going to continue with Chang Wook. This one we know, Chang Wook. Chang Wook. Let's see, before love arrives, let's see what he has to know. This is another one that is this is another one that is very much like, oh, what is it? Like, oh, it's I wouldn't say confusion, but yes, I would say confusion. It's like everything is like, what? Relationships? Oh. Okay. For Chang Wook, we start with the Moon card. We have the Tower. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Knight of Cups. So he's also going to get out of this. He's on his way. So ladies, wait for him, because he's not like, a lost hope. No. But, he has certain issues. And then he got the card of Princess. You can be your own knight. Princess. You can be your own knight. Princess. Hey, Danya. Yeah, so probably, this is the thing when I see the card of Princess, you can be your own knight. I think that, yeah, in nature, he can be very princess-like in nature. I don't know if Chang Wook, if he's like a tall man, if he's like, a very, even physically, if he's someone that demands, attention, or he's someone that you're like, oh my God, he's so tall, or he's so strong, or he's like, he looks tough. No. He's a softie. He's a softie. He he could be a bit of a princess as well, because, here you can be your own knight princess. So there's something, and also, with the moon card, there's a lot of like susceptibility. I think that when you meet this man, there's a lot of potential misunderstandings. There's something about him getting offended when things don't go the way he wants to. He probably is very picky about, about people and situation. When he meets them, he's like, oh, you don't know who I am? I'm famous. Like I think that he is very picky. He's very picky. His standards are very high. He's also someone that probably demands a lot of attention in relationships. So you have to sort of be dependent on him. You have to be like, how are you? What do you need? Do you want me to help you? Like, I've been thinking about you. Like all with sweetness, and just treat him right. Treat him right, because he has, these sort of expectations. He wants to be pampered, he wants to be taken care of, he wants to be treated like the best. And if he doesn't get this, he can get a bit sharp. This is why when we have, the princess, we see that she's holding a sword. So there's something about him being a bit sharp when it comes to, self-expression, or him, when he's not satisfied, he's going to let you know that you are not treating him well. And probably some people can be like, oh, you are a bit like, you're a bit much with your conditions. Or I don't know if he has like certain sayings, or if people that had dated him, they're like, oh, well, he does have a temper, or he talks back. There's something about him defending himself, and he's like, oh, like, why don't you give me attention? Like, you are this and this. So he's like sensitive. He's sensitive. He's you need to be patient with him, because he can get in his feelings if you don't give him the attention that he wants. It could be a bit childish also, but I think that he is someone that, first of all, he's protecting himself from something. So I don't know if this was like a past breakup, or if there was something or someone that made him feel inferior at some point in his life, or make him feel worthless. So probably now that he's like older and wiser, he's like, I will not let you put me down. Like, I'm going to be a priority. I matter. I'm important. So, there's a bit of like, this is why when you see here, the message says you can be your own knight. There's something about him, sort of coming to cut you, or coming to, like somehow fighting a bit with you, because he's like, I deserve to be treated correctly. So you better, take me into consideration. You better do not disrespect me. So yeah, he can be a bit, like, oh, yeah, because we can see we have all these cards that is like the moon, the tower. So he knows, he's very much aware that he is a very contradictory person. Probably he's the type of person that he's like, I just want a peaceful life. I want peace in my life. I want like a lovely relationship where we respect each other, and when we are okay with each other, and that when we treat each other with care, and actually like the man is, he doesn't tell you the whole truth, about himself. I think that he is like a box full of surprises, emotionally. He's like a walking contradictory, or contradiction, sorry. Like a walking contradiction. You never know what side you're going to get of him. Either if you do things right, or if you don't do them, there's always a consequence. There's always like a backlash, or there's always like chaos. There's always like probably a lot of ultimatums, or like, oh, you did this to me, we're breaking up, or like, I don't want to see you again. So I think that he's someone that it feels like when it comes to relationships, it feels very chaotic. it feels like it's all about endings. It's all about like we didn't even start it. There's not even a label to this, and you're already threatening to end this. Like what are you, 5? Um, yeah, he has probably there's a lot of like I must say maybe he has some childhood trauma, or there's something in his energy that makes him like very suspicious of people, or maybe a bit like distrustful of people. It could be that, because there's something about like him sabotaging also the relationships. So yeah, I can see it here. um but yeah, the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups, it's also people, probably his friends, or his, and also other men in particular, that they're very close to him. Probably these are like best friends, and they sort of like waking him up from all of this, and just shaking him and being like, you have to stop doing this if you want to be successful in love, or if you want to find someone. You have to stop doing this. Someone has to say it. Someone has to say it. There's probably going to be one that is going to be, a bit like brutally honest, but someone has to get him out of this. Also, he probably plays a victim a lot, like, like, oh, I don't do that. Oh, no, I reacted like this because they did this to me, or in the past they did this to me, and they're like, well, the past is the past. What matters is what you do now. So there's someone like somehow coming to the rescue of him and be like, come on, you have to stop acting like this. You have to be different. You cannot continue doing this because you will be alone. You will end up alone if you continue being like this. And then there's another person, with the Knight of Cups. There's like someone that is like handing him an invitation and be like, why don't we go out? Why don't we do this? So he could potentially meet someone this year, someone special. But first, he needs an intervention. Well, he also has that aspect. Ah, apparently he had a tough childhood. Los his parents, because of his mother. Claro. Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, there's a bit of trauma in there. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue with Super Junior Donghae. Super Junior Donghae. It's been a while since I read for a Super Junior member, I believe. Super Junior Donghae. Before love arrives, let's see a message for him. Did he lose someone? Did he lose a relationship or something like this? This is so cool. Okay, he got the 5 of Cups. We have the Wall card. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Hierophant. And then from the Oracle, we have the keyword of feather. Feather. And it says, think first before you judge. And I was looking at this because this reminded me of, The Craft, the movie, where they are helping, lift someone light as a feather. I guess this is why it's called feather. Think first before you judge. Yeah, I think that did he lost someone, or did he like? I feel like there's something about him losing a very important person in his life, like romantically, like maybe a partner of his, or a potential partner of his, or someone that he wanted to. I don't know why he's giving like I wanted to grow old with this person, but it didn't work out. And I think that there's something about him being grieving this that didn't happen, or the reality that he didn't build with this person. So he's mourning the past, or he's like looking at like, oh, I have all this, I should be happy because I have all this, but at the same time I don't have this person. So he's like always looking at the glass half empty, but I think that he's very soon going to close the chapter about this. It's just that it feels very sad. We have the world, so definitely a closure is coming, but probably there's something about him just feeling very sorry, feeling very sorry for this relationship that didn't work out. And I think that for him, he feels very sentimental. This is why we have the Five of Cups. He's a very sentimental. Sorry, I'm pushing my t-shirt. He's a very nostalgic person, also very like I think that there's something about him not telling people or not expressing this to others, but he carries the somehow the grief inside. He's very I don't think that is like oh, I'm thinking about my past and I'm stuck in my past. I think that there's a bit of like, when you try to make a sort of balance about like, okay, the choices that you took or that you made in the past in the way you are right now, or the life that you have today. So he's like, well, I have done well for myself, but, there was a certain regret that I had. Maybe not being with that person, not being able to be with that person, not fighting for that person. So I don't see him just reaching out to this person. I mean, like, I still think about you. I think that there's no way also. Maybe this person is not available anymore. Maybe this person got married. And it feels tragic. It feels like, like a mourning process. It feels like for him, it was like, I was very emotionally invested. And actually, he has like a sort of sadness around him, that he's like, I don't think I ever loved someone the way I loved this person. So this is why I'm like, did he lose someone? Because it feels very much like very heavy. But I see him moving on. I think that he's he's very mature, or at least, this year is going to be, a year where he's like, I'm finally entering into my, is he an earth sign? Donghae? Is he an earth sign? Well, if he's not an earth sign, he is, he's likely to be like, he probably has like a strong earth placements, but he probably never used the potential of his earth placements. Is he rich also? Is he good with money? Because I can see him as this King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles doesn't appear out of thin air. The King of Pentacles is someone that has built himself also to be where he is, or to be able to enjoy of the stability, and I think that probably now, that he's like starting to, okay, I want to move on, like I want to close this chapter and to see what I have available, because he definitely wants a commitment. We have the Hierophant here, so I'm talking about marriage. He wants to get married, or he wants to have his own family. So he's like probably entering into this era where he's like, he wants to be perceived as someone reliable in relationships, someone that can be a provider, someone that can be, you know, um, um, someone that can be trustworthy. There's something about him being like, look at me, I can be trustworthy. We can build a future together. I can build this future for you. He's also very old fashioned. There's something, this is why I'm like, he's not an earth sign. He has a strong placement or something that had always been in there. It's just that maybe in another aspect it doesn't show. And maybe he looks like he's going clueless through life, but he has the potential. It's either rising or something like that. He has the potential of becoming more stable. Could it be that he has like a Taurus rising or something like this? Does he look like a Taurus? Man. Because we also have the Hierophant, so I'm like, yeah, he's old-fashioned. He's very simple, actually. He's a very simple in relationships. It's just that he's getting serious. Maybe, in the past, he could have, been a bit more like childish or prideful about like, okay, feeling sorry for himself, and now he's like, now I'm going back to work, and I'm going to bet on a potential relationship. And it has to be a serious one. It has to be a serious one, a mature relationship. I think that he's ready. He's ready. He's ready. But he's like I think that there's something about him being like, I know it had to start from me. This is not about him meeting the one or him having possibilities or not. This is not about the other part in the relationship. This is about him owning up to his, potential as a partner, and him being more serious about it. Now he can build. Yeah, further, think first before you judge. I think that this is like very interesting, because I'm like, there's something about, with Feather, about being light, could it be that probably his ideal type is not the type that he would initially go for, or the person for him is not the type that he would usually go for that person? This is why the cards is like, think first before you judge. It's like, don't judge the book by its cover, because it can be good. That person can be a good partner for you. It's just that don't judge. Don't judge. Keep it light. Be a feather. Hi, Catalino. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jung Somin, the actress. Jung Somin, before love arrives, what does she need to know? It's so cute. Okay. We start for Jung Somin. We have the Tower. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Four of Swords. This is about someone in a specific in her life, probably. And we have from this oracle, we have the card of the keyword of potion. And the phrase, it says, remember to practice self-love. Remember to practice self-love for Jung Somin. Don't forget about self-love. Yeah, because there's someone in here. There's a king, so I'm like, she probably has like a pendant thing issue with someone, or she probably attracts the same kind of partner man in her life. I don't want to say partner, but it feels like masculine figure, like your type. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a relationship, but it could be the guy that she likes, or the type of guys that she goes for, or the person that feels attracted to her. And there's something about the cards being like, if he could, if he could, he would. There's something about the cards calling out this kind of man, because it's very interesting. Like, we have, the Tower, and we have the Six of Pentacles. So definitely this is about her probably, in her past experiences, not receiving the amount of what she gives. She probably is very generous in relationships, or she's very generous with the people that she cares about. She tends to give a lot of herself. She's very much like a great, she gives of her heart. She's very considerate. And probably there's something about her also being fed up of always being the one that is like the giver, that is like the one that is generous, the one that really initiates, or that she's like dependent on, okay, what do you need? I will give it to you. She's very like nice. I think that she doesn't realize that she does this, or that she has this tendency, until it's too late, and the Tower is like, if it's not mutual, it cannot be. It has to be mutual. It has to be like reciprocated. Just as much as you give out, you are supposed to receive as well. Stop encouraging these sort of connections where they don't give you the same attention, love, appreciation, respect, you name it. But I think that the cards are very straightforward with her about that. Like, just if they don't reciprocate, just cut it. Just at the moment that you see that they are starting to, or they don't react, they don't say thank you, they don't put the same effort that you put, it's like retreat, get out. Get out of anything, that any kind of bond. I think that this is, it could be relationships, but also it could be, sentimental in other relationships of hers. It's like it doesn't always have to initiate with you giving that, because we do have this King of Swords, and we have this Four of Swords. So the cards are like, you do attract this sort of like, rational, cold, oh, I'm so cool for you, or I'm so intelligent, or I'm so popular, or I'm intelligent, I'm so smart, I know things. Nevertheless, he sucks at communication. He doesn't tell you to your face what he wants or what he doesn't want. So she should also stop, going for this kind of people. because it seems like she keeps attracting the same person over and over and over, and it's not, because it feels like this person is like full of promises that they never fulfill, you know. So it feels very superficial. It feels like, you know, he has this sort of facade of like, oh, I'm super honest, I'm very straightforward, you know, like I just say what I want to say, and I'm very intelligent. No, you are very passive, very cold, very detached. With the Four of Swords, it's like you put your feelings to sleep. You don't have feelings, actually. So this kind of people plays like mind games. You know, it's like they leave you, or they ghost you, or they leave you hanging. They don't give you the answer. There's like silence. There's like absences. There's like, I need a timeout. I need space. And it's like always at a distance. So don't go for this kind of person. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not again. Yeah, we have the card of potion. Remember to practice self-love. She's very special. She's very special. She's very magical. You know, this tarot deck is this oracle deck. I don't remember the name because someone, you know, gave it to me like a gift. But it has, you know, these messages about magic. I think that the name of the oracle, there's something about magic in that. I don't remember now. But yeah, with the keyword of potion, you know, she can be also the one that creates her reality in relationships. So before, you know, the true love, or the love that has real potential arrives in her life, she has to remember to cultivate her self-love. You know, it's like focus on you getting better, being better. Dissipate any kind of distraction or doubt, or if you had someone in your life or around you that is a bit hot and cold, you know, that is a bit like you don't know if he likes you, he doesn't like you, like, you know, he's with you, he's not with you, you know, stay away from this kind of person, because it's never going to reciprocate. It's never going to be the way she wants it to be. Okay. Going to continue with Ahof member GL. I don't know this guy, but yeah, I know that Ahof is a very young group. So let's see for him. Yeah, okay. Okay, for this member of Ahof GL, we have the Justice, we have Seven of Cups, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the World card, and then we have the card of Thorns. It says Thorns. And the phrase, it says, weave together the crown you deserve. Thorns. weave together the crown you deserve. Yeah, I think that he's really young. Honestly, like he's really young. He should like rely a lot on others. I would say, also with the cards of thorns, there's something that he has to, there's a lot of things that he has to integrate, a lot of winnings, or a lot of things that he has to overcome with others or with the help of others in order for him to assert himself also in his emotional life or in relationships. I don't think that the cards are like, no, because romance, of course that if it happens, it happens. But there's something with the keyword of thorns, that it says weave together the crown you deserve. So he still, has to gain confidence or has to acquire experiences that allow him to also go through this sort of road that has a lot of thorns, has a lot of challenges, but at the same time that he's able to stand his ground next to the others and be like, okay, we win this, or I have this win, or I had overcome this, or I had earned this. So it feels like he still has a long way to go, and probably there's something about him facing certain personal challenges in order for him to he needs to get the recognition first, or maybe he has to have certain professional winnings before finding love, I guess, or before, getting in touch with his sensitive or emotional side. It's not that he doesn't have emotional needs, he does have them. It's just that I think that he has also a lot of things on his plate right now. Like love is not, or a relationship is not a priority. We have the Justice, the Seven of Cups. So see, it feels like, that he's a very balanced person. He's a very fair person. He knows that there's something about relationships that he can be a bit, he can fantasize a bit about people in situations. With the Seven of Cups, it's like, yeah, he plays it cool with the Justice. I don't know if he's a Libra or something like this, but he plays it cool. He plays it like, I got this. He probably is curious about relationships, and he probably wants to experience one. But the Seven of Cups is also like, I have many choices, like, or maybe I know a lot of people of my age that I like or that I find attractive, or I do have a lot of, people that want to be my girlfriends. And like, there's something about him having a lot of options, just like any guy of his age, and he's like, so I wouldn't be able to stay with one. There's something just about him fantasizing a lot. And really he's very popular as well. So he's like, well, if I could, I would have. But yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the World. So I think that he could potentially at some point, maybe meet, a mentor, someone that is older than him, that he could actually take this person as a reference, of like, this is the kind of woman that I want. This is like what I want in my future partner. I want someone like her, like this Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very strong, is very assertive, is very professional, is someone that knows, is very, the type of person that knows how to do everything, probably does very well with money, or is someone that is very abundant. So I think that he's going to let himself be influenced by this kind of older women or older person, or probably someone that he feels like, oh, she's more experienced than me, so I kind of like her, or I have a crush on this kind of person. But I think that it's not about the person. I think that it's more about what she represents. She represents stability. And I think that for someone like him, that he could be a bit, he's young. His energy feels very young. He's like he still doesn't know what his type is. He still doesn't know it. He's searching. He's searching for answers, or he's evaluating himself. Like, okay, what do I like? What do I like in a partner? What do I want in a relationship? And he fantasizes a lot with the idea, honestly. But I think that he still has a lot of observation to do. He needs to go out and just live life, and that in there he will find someone. I think that his type is someone that can be like a very sure person, a very stable person. I don't know if there's something about him or his nature that he's like, sometimes I doubt myself, or I don't know who I am. So I would prefer to have, a partner or someone by my side that can be this rock for me, or someone that can bring me security, because I don't know about security. I just know that I go with the flow with whatever they are giving me. Either attention, compliments, he goes with the flow of maybe also working in the industry where, it's all about, people pleasing, you pleasing the audience, you've been likable to the other people. So I think that he would probably go for someone that has like a more like a street kind of attitude, very hardworking, someone that also is very flexible, that they don't change their mind, that they have a very strong personality, and that's it. Okay. I'm going to read for Sungchan. He's the last one on my list for today. Riize Sungchan. Before love arrives, what does he need to know? Riize Sungchan. He's so tragic. He's so tragic already. Like, who broke this man's heart? Who was it? Who was it? Who broke poor Sunchan's heart? Who has done it? I want to have a conversation with that person. Okay, for Sunchan of Riize, we have the Queen of Wands, we have the Ten of Swords, we have the Six of Pentacles, and we have the Three of Swords. So cry me a river or something like that. And then from the Oracle, we have the keyword of gold, and it says, you don't need someone else to fix you. Gold. You don't need someone else to fix you. A very nice message. I think that it's like, come on, Sunchan, get up. Get up. It's like he's someone that he waits for the other person to save him. Could it be that? Because I'm like, why is he so tragic? Like, why does it feel like, oh, the world is over? Like, I'm not loving anymore. because of what happened to this person. I don't believe in love anymore. At least his energy feels like this. Feels very tragic. Feels like, poor me. Poor me. And then I see a woman, so definitely he's like, she did it. She did it. Queen of Wands, Ten of Swords. I mean, I think that he also has a type. I don't want to say like he loves to suffer, but he can be a bit masochistic. Like he has like a thing maybe for tough women or for women that have like a strong personality, a strong temper, very confident in themselves, or just, very much a bit selfish also, someone that knows what they want, someone that is not going to wait around for you, someone that, it makes no excuses. They don't wait for you. They don't ask for your permission. They just do what they want to do. And I think that he has like a soft spot, for that kind of person. For that kind of person. And probably he's like, he's always like, his eyes, his energy goes towards this type of person. But there's something about this person also making him feel like, I'm already on the ground about my confidence and you kick me, like I'm already with my confidence is very low. I'm already like, on the ground and you kick me, you hurt me, I'm already I'm already suffering, I'm already like have a very low confidence and you attack me anyway. So I think that she probably gives him like tough love, or there's something about her talking to him in a tone that, is not helping him it's not helping him feel better. There's something about him feeling like, oh my God, I always mess up. And he probably always messes up. But she is very confrontational like this. Like she will tell you like it is, like you mess up in here and I don't want to talk to you. And he's like, oh no. But I think that the problem is that maybe he's very sensitive, and there's something about his energy feeling like, okay, if I associate myself with a strong tempered person or a passionate person or someone that is very like going for winning in life, he feels like, oh, if I associate myself with a person like this, I will become confident myself. It's like him trying to like get contagious of the other person's attributes. And no, it doesn't work like this. Like the confidence, he has to build it on his own. He has to build his relationship. He has to build his own personality, or his own endurance, or his own ability to be resilient, or his own passionate side, his own, even intimidating side. He has to build it himself. It's just that I think that probably he has a lot of water placements. There's a lot of femininity in here, so probably he has a hard time setting boundaries. He has a hard time being authoritarian. And this is why, he attracts the opposite of what he lacks. He lacks fire, so he's always like looking at someone that has extra fire. And then he feels like a loser. Then he's like, why did I put my eyes on that person? Why did I do that to myself? Yeah, because you're lacking something. You are not finding the balance. You're trying to absorb something from someone's energy, and you need to integrate that energy yourself. You cannot take it from a partner or from a potential partner. First of all, because it's very manipulative if you do, or if he does. So yeah, the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, more heartache on the way. No, I think that he has to be patient. He probably will be heartbroken for a very long time. And I don't think that it's about being heartbroken. I think that it's about him, accepting that, maybe this sorrow that he has is not about, oh, I'm disappointed in relationships and in my romantic possibilities. He is heartbroken and that's it. And he probably needs time to heal, needs time to adjust, needs time to accommodate his emotional world. But he needs to be patient with himself. He's still figuring out a few things about his life or his personality or who he really is. So it's going to be a slow journey for Sungchan. This is not about him being in a relationship or not. I think that it's about his own identity. Is like, who are you? What do you want? What do you not want? He doesn't know himself. This is why he's always like clingy towards the other part. You know, he's always trying to get from the other what I don't have, but it doesn't work like that. It's exhausting. It leaves both parties exhausting if you do that. If you get with someone to, you know, get inspired, like, oh my God, I want to be like them. So I think that is going to take a while for him to heal. It's slow. For him, it's going to be a slow process. Him feeling sorry for himself, probably. But yeah, just like, you know, the oracle, it says, you don't need someone else to fix you. He doesn't need another to fix him. He just needs to face himself, you know, and because he probably has, you know, has the potential of, while being in a relationship, he forgets about himself or he forgets about his issues, the existent issues that there are in his personality. That probably is that he's very indecisive, or that he doesn't know, or that he just cannot make up his mind about what he wants to do. He's not happy. So everything he translates to the other part. It's like, well, now that I'm in a relationship, she is supposed to fix this for me. And no, you have to be okay with yourself. So yeah, he has to fix himself. I would recommend this man to stay single, because if he does get with someone, I pity the other person. Hey, Chichalino, I did say hi. Hey, Yashoda. What a tragic word. I did say hi. He's still my bias. I mean, I don't have a bias in Riize. I'm between him and Shotaro, because, you know, they are Suntaro. They are former NCT members, so they have a special place in my heart as artists. Do you do readings like that for yourself? No, this is actually a reading that a client of mine ordered. She wanted this reading. But I did pull, I don't remember exactly when, but I did pull one card from this oracle because I found it and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I got the same card as Sungchan. So I got this card again. I got this card that Sungchan got. The one that it says, you don't need someone else to fix you. So, you know, me and Sungchan probably were, no say, I don't want to say like we are in the same journey. Of course not, I don't think so. But, you know, there's a bit of resonance in there. So, yeah, I don't need someone to fix me. I'm okay. I can fix myself. I think that it's not about like, oh, I can fix myself. It's more like you don't need, the typical, like, when you think in pairs, like, oh, the other half is going to fix this that you lack, or the other half is going. No, it's like you can fix yourself. It's like, there's no broken parts of you. Yeah, well, you're both Capricorn rising, so yeah. we are both tragic. Sad people. Rice, I like woman, I believe. Yes, this oracle is special. I don't know. I think that Vanessa, do you have energy claim rituals? No. I don't know how to do that. No. Very interesting question. I have no idea how to do that. Are you talking about food, guys? Do you have any other recommendations, guys? Because I'm done with the people that I have. Yes, I had Stray Kids, Bangchan, Sota Fukushi, Chang Wook, Super Junior, Donghae, Jung Somin, Ahof JL, and Riize Sungchan. Kim Junsu. Junsu is the one that is not problematic, right? I don't read for the problematic ones of former TVSQ. Junsu, who is Junsu? Right. It's the the other one is the problematic one. Junsu. Why? Let's see. He's the other one that was with JYJ, right? With Jejum. Oh. Is he in a relationship already? Because I have a queen here. I have a queen. So I'm like, okay, for Junsu, we have the Queen of Swords, we have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Lovers, and we have the Page of Pentacles. A lot of work also. A lot of work already invested, already put. So this is why I'm like, he has his doubts, with the Lovers. Is he a Gemini? Because he has this duality of, do I invest in this or not? Or do I do this with this person or not? But I think that honestly, this is mostly all idols. Like, when they are like, okay, I think that this is good for me, but I don't know if I deserve this. What if people get mad? What if people get, upset? But I don't think that is going to affect his work. And from the oracle, we have the card of sundress. It says, do it for you. Sundress. Do it for you. So, yeah, definitely there's something about the cards being like, if you're happy, do it. But do it because you want to. You want this relationship, not because probably the society or this person, because the Queen of Swords is very is very opinionated. It's someone that has like a strong presence, strong ideas, very vocal about what she needs, what she wants. She's probably very insistent when it comes to clarity. I want things to be fair, I want things to be clear, tell me the truth. So I can see her just being, maybe she is a lot of work, and she wants this relationship to work, so she asks a lot of him. And or if she doesn't exist, there could come a woman of these characteristics for him. Someone that is like, for me, you have to work. If you want me, you have to work. You have to put the effort. You have to invest in me. You have to choose me. Because this person is not going to be around waiting for him to decide. This is also a very decisive person. This is probably someone that is more experienced than him. Either it's older than him. So she's like, I don't want any excuses. Either you are with me or you're not. So I can kind of see, I think that there's a part of him that he likes to be called out like this by a potential partner. I think that he's like, yeah, you're right about that. I needed to hear that. Or I needed someone that I find attractive or that I love or that I'm beginning to feel something for them. I needed them to put me in my place. Because there's something about consistency, about work, about learning, relearning, starting over. He has to put the work. There's a lot of pentacles. So relationships will never be free for him. They will always demand a certain amount of consistency, of hard work, of presence, of investment. Even he will have to put money. He will have to, I don't know, build this person a house. I don't know. It feels like this person can wait for you. If it's going to take you a while, you don't have to have the money now. But there's something about you have to build with this person. You have to get into the material. So maybe there's something about him. I don't know how he's doing professionally, but if he had always been a bit messy with money or with, his income, and really not knowing, where the money is going, but it's not here, or it disappeared, is because there's something that you're doing with your money that is not very well planned. So he probably is he needs a structure. He needs a structure. He needs, to be consistent. And I think that this person is the kind of person that is like, if you want me, you have to work for me. You have to put the effort. You have to show me that you really want, that you really mean it. Because he is very indecisive. If you give him the chance, he will doubt. And he will run away, probably. But I think that there's a bit of seriousness in here. Probably also she works with him, because we have the Eight of Pentacles. So she could be working with him. But yeah, the Lovers, Page of Pentacles, it's all about work. It's all about also him adapting to this new reality, to this person that is very different from him. Maybe she has views, she has perceptions, she has ideas that are very opposite to what he does. But he is a bit open to learn, because there's an attraction. There's something that pulls him to this kind of person, that he's like, I guess it's my destiny. I have to follow her, or I have to do what she says. Not from a place of like, me, I'm the victim. No. There's no victim mentality in here. It's just that maybe this person is like somehow, asking him like, how stable are you? You want a relationship, but what do you have to offer? And this is not about him paying everything. It's not literally about money, but it's about like, what can you build if you don't have a stability? So yes, like it says, sundress, do it for you. So he also has to make up his mind. Like, either you accept this person, but also like accept that if you say yes, it has to come from your own desire, and not because, no, she actually convinced me and that's why I said yes to this relationship. No, like, you are a grown man. So if you said yes, it's because you were okay with it. Mm-hmm. I believe Dania said Momo. Let's pull cards for Momo. Momo twice. Yeah, Momo needs to speak up a bit more. A lot of swords. A lot of swords. Two of Pentacles. Queen of Swords. Page of Swords. Nine of Swords. It's a lot about communication. And from the Oracle, it says villain. It says, you can always rewrite the story. Villain. you can always rewrite the story. Was she made a villain at some point? Does anyone know if there had been rumors about her being the villain of a story? Because yes, there's a lot about, words, like things being said about her, or, she not being able to defend herself actually, or just not knowing what to say. There's something about her being like, I couldn't say anything. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to say. I was very young. The Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, she definitely, yes, she has an issue with making up her mind. Also, she probably is someone that even when she says that she means something, or she's like, I'm communicating this, then maybe from the other part, people doubt her. People doubt, like, oh, did she really mean that? Did she really mean that? Like, or is she doing this on purpose? There's something about her energy just being very, mutable for people. People are not really sure about, like, okay, who is she? Is she the good guy? Is she the bad guy? We don't know. We have our doubts. So people are speculating a lot about Momo's personality, about her achievements, even, how she gets the things that she gets, and actually I think that she's a very bright person. Like, she has, like, probably she's also very communicative, or she has she's very eager to communicate, but maybe she's not been given the place or the right moment to communicate. Maybe even she has been hushed in certain moments. So this is how, somehow in reality, people are like, we don't know Momo. We don't know. We don't know her. We think that we know her, but we think that this is a part of her. There must be another side to the story, or to her story, like a duality. Like Momo is two people. Like, there's like a bipolar, this. But why? Why? And I think that and there could be at some point where she actually started to believe this, that there's something about her not accepting a part of herself, her being two people. So, but I think that, it had always been a part of her. Maybe she had always tried to be like the peacemaker or the mediator. So this is why she always leaves, certain questions or certain situations. She leaves them open to interpretation, because she's like, I'm no one to tell people what they should think. They can think about whatever they want. Like, I'm just, she holds her own truth. It's just that maybe there was a moment where she was made to doubt, like, okay, people say that I'm fishy, or people say that they don't trust me, or that I'm the villain of the situation. So maybe they're right. So I think that she definitely needs to rewrite her story before, engaging in a new relationship, before the love arrives, before a good love arrives. She needs to, there's something that she needs to get out of her chest. She needs to say something, or defend herself, or maybe, state an opinion and be like, guys, I have this that I have been keeping inside of me. This is a part of my story. This is my side of the story. This is what happened, and I need to talk about this. I need to, guys, let you know that it's not cool to criticize people that you don't know. I think that there's something just, I don't see that Momo has like emotional issues. I think that all the issues that she could have is about feeling totally misunderstood. There's something about her being like, people don't know me. and they make these crazy allegations about what I am. So she feels, from times she feels like, okay, I'm going to be the bigger person and I'm going to let it go because it's been a long time, it's been a while, so we have to move on. But then there's moments, where she goes back to this younger version of her, immature version of hers, where she gets angry. She gets like, it's as if, you as a child had always been interrupted. You wanted to learn how to talk and you always get interrupted, or you always get corrected by people, and people are like, oh, you better do not say anything because you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to express yourself, so you better hush. You are pretty when you hush, or you better do not talk because we don't like it when you talk. So there's something about the speech. There's something about expression, and it can be about an accent, the voice, something, but that it goes deeper because it attacks her self-worth. It attacks her self-image. She's like, okay, I guess I must stay silent because people say that I should hush, that what I have to say doesn't matter, that I should do something else instead of talking. So this is why her mind is like goes over and over and replace certain situations, because maybe people bring things from her past that is like, oh man, it's been a while. But she goes from being this, this very intelligent Queen of Swords to go to be this Page of Swords. It feels like she feels like I'm over it, but I'm not over it. There's a part of me that I'm still resentful about this that they said about me. With the Oracle of Villain, you can always rewrite the story. She can always rewrite her story. What people say of her is for the people or for the internet. I don't know. She can do differently. She can be better. I think that also probably getting into a new relationship can be a way of rewriting a history, rewriting a story. Maybe her finding happiness with someone else can be a way of healing. But I think that there's a lot of complications when it comes to her being understood. So I don't know if this also gets in the way of her, clicking with someone or matching with someone, matching someone's energy. I think that she feels very misunderstood, and that people don't want to hear what she has to say. They always interrupt her, always. It's like, no, you hush, Bye, Yashoda. Poor girl. It's just that it must be annoying. It must be annoying that people, that the people that you are like, okay, no, I don't know, it can be family, it can be where she grew up, that you are like, they are supposed to be supportive of me, but they tell me that I should shut up. So that became like a learned, like something that she integrated. She was like, well, these people said that I should hush, that I look pretty when I hush. So didn't you say RM, Chicharito? I read when you say RM. In there. Now I can see it. Sorry, it was the little hole on the screen. It was covering it. I'm going to read you Namjoon because I remember that you requested, and it's been a while, I believe. it's been a while since I read for him. And he's always very mysterious. So I'm like, I want to know what's up. They must be so concentrated on the comeback. Cannot wait to hear what they have new for us. Yes, I agree then. Okay, let's go for Namjoon of BTS. Let's see, before love arrives, what he needs to know. Wow, a lot of major arcanas. So is he feeling spiritual? Oh, okay. 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 Oh. Okay, we have the Strength card from Namjoon, Two of Pentacles. We have the Temperance, and we have the Sun card. So a lot of major arcanas, And then from the Oracle, we have the card of Shark, and it says, swim away from this situation. Shark, swim away from this situation. So more like a warning than like, oh, love is arriving. It's more like a warning. And it's interesting. It's really interesting because actually when I saw the Strength card, I'm like, and the Two of Pentacles, I'm like, is he holding back? Is he holding back from a connection? Is like him putting a certain, like, wait, not now. With the Strength card and the Two of Pentacles, there's something about him, controlling also his own impulses. I don't see a person in here. There could be someone, but he's like, not now. This is not the right time. I have my mind elsewhere, or probably he's going to be super busy. But I think that it's not that he doesn't want to. It's more that there's something very instinctive, also about the Strength card, that it's about self-control, when you're like, I shouldn't be doing this, or I shouldn't do this. And he also probably is not sure, even when he says like, no, I don't want to get involved with you, or I don't want to see you. There's a part of him that he's like, yeah, not today, but it could be another day. He's using his whole willpower to probably like, resist this person. This is the first word that I got. It's like he's resisting someone. He's like, no, stay there. And I will stay over here. But he's doing his best to not break. Probably it's a very intense connection, or a very intense dynamic. Because it doesn't feel like actually like it's bad, or it makes him feel anxious, or it's just that there's moments where he feels more secure when he says no, and there's other moments where he's like, what if I say yes? Or maybe he had said yes at some point, and it's this, we go back together, then we are not together, and something like this. Yeah, because with the Temperance and the Sun, I think that before love arrives, I think that, definitely it's going to be a time of a lot of exposure, of a lot of creativity for him. He's going to be super busy. He's going to be super exposed. He's also going to be healing a lot of parts of his history, maybe coming back to the stages, being with the group again. It's a whole, this experience is bigger than him. It's very important for a lot of people. So it sort of makes sense that, he's not like ready for a relationship. He's like, let's keep distance. I don't want to get involved like this because I know myself. And if I get involved with you, I probably will not be able to let you go. And he'll probably get obsessive. So he's like, I need to have, my whole energy field needs to be released, needs to be at peace, or needs to be centered, or it needs to be in balance. I don't want to lose my balance because I need to go out. I need to go and shine. I need to be out there. So I cannot do this with you right now. So yeah, but he's not like hiding something. It's just that he's like, now my vital energy, probably his sexual energy, is all going to be towards, creativity. So not one-on-one connections. But yeah, shark, swim away from this situation. So maybe there's something forbidden about this, with the card of shark, like swim away from the situation. It's like, the cards is like, go away, like, the distance is better. So maybe there's something about him, he probably also fears, there's something about him restricting himself, and he's like knowing that at the end he's going to be like a sort of prisoner of how he feels about this person. So maybe there's something that he feels, I don't want to say illegal, but it could feel a bit like, oh my God, like that's not me. I shouldn't be doing this. So he's like, that's why I prefer to stay away from you, because you are dangerous. Yeah, maybe it's that. Yes. Yes, I heard certain people say that as well. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah. But there's a bit of duality in his nature. It's just that, he's so, there's something about, that this is why when I think about the card of the sun, he's someone that he's so magnetic, or he's someone that he will always have these positions of exposure and power, a lot of light on himself. So this is why, is the dual part of him. Only the people that know him for real knows about this side, because actually when it comes to presentations, or when it comes to him showing himself to the public, he will always show confidence. He will never give you a space for you to doubt either his nature or his decisions. But yeah, there's a part of him that is dual. At least that's how I see it energetically. Yeah, he's. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. This was fun. Wasn't one of his first seven. I think it was Fluffy. I think it was. No, I'm done. I'm done, totally. Oh my. Yes. Yes, it was. Even though like I just created it like because it was a client's request. I did a reading for her, and I was left, with them with the spread, and I had like, I had this prepared. So I was like, how about if I do it for some people? But thank you guys for the recommendation. Thank God I got them on time, because I believe that when I posted, wasn't it yesterday? So I didn't have much time to collect many recommendations. But yeah, let's see. On Saturday, that is going to be Valentine's Day, we are going to see the intimate. I will have to see how I can do this. So, because, there's certain cards, or maybe there's, I will have to see how we do this, because the reading is very specific. Even though I don't go that deep I don't get very like graphic, but let's see how it goes on Saturday. I'm going to try to do it, to go live on Saturday, guys. Saturday, 9 a.m. my time, so we can make the most of Valentine's Day. Oh yes, thank you, Chichalin. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. See you on Saturday, and if not, have a lovely week. Bye.